Hello everyone, and welcome to News and Views for August the 15th, 2024. Once again, this upcoming weekend, we are going to be spoilt for choice in our area as to what we're going to do with our time. It is Harvest Sun weekend, so if you are a music fan, that's definitely one that you want to check out. And also, it is Minnedosa Fun Fest. So if you're heading in that direction, lots to do this weekend. As for our show today, we've got some coverage of some events that came through our area last week. First of all, we were down in Carberry. They unveiled a memorial in Carberry on Sunday. This was to the victims and the first responders and the families who were affected by the crash of June last year. So there was lots of people in attendance speaking about that. A beautiful memorial now on the north end of Carberry. To memorialize that event and to give people a sort of a quiet place to go and remember. As well, they planted 17 trees there, one for each of the victims of the crash. As well, through Neepawa here, the rolling barrage came through. If you don't know what that is a coast-to-coast motorcycle ride raising awareness and funds for PTSD in first responders. So that was a very timely arrival of them. They came through, spent the night in Neepawa, had a lovely reception here, and spoke to us about that a little bit. We were also up at Kelwood last weekend. They had the Kelwood Fair. We have coverage elsewhere in the schedule, but on the show today, we just have a few clips of their quilt show. Always have a huge quilt show up there every year. And as well, last weekend was Gladstone's Fair. So as for that, we again have other things elsewhere in the schedule, but on the show today, we have a glimpse of the Gladstone Fair Parade. So if you know anything else that's coming up that we might be missing, might not know about, please get in touch with us. We definitely want to know. You can reach us at 204-476-2639 or email nactv@wcgwave.ca. Thanks and enjoy the show.
My name is Ray Muirhead. I'm the mayor of the town of Carberry, and I would like to welcome everyone and thank you all for attending on this beautiful day. I would like to take this opportunity to offer a special welcome to the families, friends, and loved ones of the 17 people lost in the accident of June 15th, 2023, and to those who survived and had their lives changed forever, their families and loved ones, traveling from Dauphin and elsewhere to be here today. Welcome to our guests, dignitaries, and to all first responders and emergency personnel in attendance.
So I want to thank you all for being here together to mark a very important moment in our province's history and in that which binds two communities together now, communities of Carberry and surrounding areas, as well as with Dauphin. I want to thank Mayor Muirhead and Council for being such gracious hosts and for everything that you've done over the past some 14 months since this tragic accident took place to first respond and now to help us do that very important act of remembrance. And so I want to say here on behalf of the province of Manitoba that we will never forget. Manitoba will remember those who were lost in this terrible tragedy. We will remember those who survived, and we will remember those whose acts of valor and heroism helped to embody the best of us and to ensure that those who did survive could find the path toward healing. But I also want to say that the act of coming together as a community to commemorate and to remember embodies who we are as a province and as a country. We cannot determine when these challenging moments are going to befall us, but we can determine how we are going to respond. And to see the kind-hearted, generous way in which people here in Carberry have decided to come together and pay tribute to what took place, I think is a powerful testament to the good-minded, neighborly community spirit that we're blessed with here in this province and in this great country. And as the Reverend said, there's a requirement to be there on an ongoing basis too. Not all of the wounds that were visited upon people in this province on that day were physical, nor will they be healed quickly. So I want to say that as we go forward and we take up the mayor's invitation to visit the site and to remember, I would say that we have an important responsibility to continue to be there, whether it's for the first responder who is still troubled by what they experienced, or whether it's the family member who is still in grief or still in mourning. And so let us join together to support one another in that good way.
Now I would like to ask Patrick Furcalo to speak on behalf of the families of those affected.
Honorable Wab Canoe, fellow dignitaries, on behalf of the families, it's my absolute honor today to acknowledge and give thanks to everyone involved surrounding the tragic event which took place just over a year ago. As is in many historical dates, June 15, 2023 will be no different for many of us. That first phone call, that fire call, that ambulance call, air ambulance call, 911 call, and of course, the breaking news on media outlets depicting the uncertainty of the events that just unfolded. So many lives were changed that day, and for many of us, the following days and weeks and months became a blur of uncertainty, riding the highs and lows of everyday emotions. It was only as time passed that families realized and started to realize the impact that society had on ourselves and our loved ones. We soon realized just how many people really stepped up following the tragedy. And still today, the families that are getting support from our everyday heroes. Those medical professionals that took the utmost care in dealing with our loved ones and still dealing with them today. We thank you. The first responders, whether on the ground or in the air, that brought such professionalism and caring. We thank you. Anyone that arrived on that horrific scene that brought safety, dignity, and comfort to everyone involved. We thank you. And of course, the friends and families and organizations and neighbors and clubs and church groups that reached out from coast to coast to coast to offer up any type of support for the families. We thank you. To the beautiful town of Carberry for generously opening up this safe space, helping to ensure that the legacies of these wonderful people will never be forgotten. We thank you. Through all of these acts of unselfishness and kindness, it makes it easier for the families to process and cope and go on with our lives from this tragedy that happened. So from the bottom of our hearts, we all thank you.
And in memory of those who were lost, Louis Bredisher, Catherine Day, Margaret Furcalo, Vangie Gilchrist, Anne Hill, Helen Kufle, Arlene Lindquist, Diane Medwid, Nettie Nakanishny, Shirley Nowakolski, Frank Pergillo, Rose Pergillo, Jean Rosenkrantz, Donna Shodra, Lillian Stobie, Patsy Zamerkut, and Claudia Zerba. And to those whose lives were changed forever, Bob Burnett, Lucille Bredisher, Mary Hudema, John Rolls, Marie Rolls, Alex Senek, and the one and only Josephine Stolkatelny. She's right up front. And I also want to acknowledge all first responder agencies one more time, and I can't say enough about these people and what they did that day. As the incident commander, I could not be more proud of everyone's actions that day and every day since. To the Carberry North Cypress Langford Fire Department, Neepawa Fire Department, Brandon Fire and Emergency Services, and including the 911 Communication Center, the Shared Health Emergency Medical Services, including the Medical Transportation Communications Center, STARS Air Ambulance, including the Lifelight Crews and the STARS Operations Center, the Manitoba RCMP, including their dispatchers, the Brandon Regional Health Center and all staff that were involved that day and the days forward, the Portage and District General Hospital, and the Health Sciences Center. And also to the numerous passersby and civilian volunteers who assisted in many ways that day. Some of you are here today, and your efforts did not go unnoticed.
At this time, I would like to ask the following people to come forward to unveil this beautiful monument and benches. Greg Sidor from Carberry North Cypress Langford Fire Department, Mike Spees with Neepawa Fire, Callum Melvin with Shared Health EMS, Terry Parlow with Brandon Fire and Emergency Services, Donovan Fair with STARS Air Ambulance, and Corporal Jeff McIntosh with the Manitoba RCMP. Thank you, gentlemen. That's a beautiful monument and benches. Thanks to all involved. And just an FYI, the heart-shaped monument will be illuminated during night. That's why we run the electricity to it. So we will be light up at night for everyone to see. Before we conclude our ceremony, I would like to say thank you to a few of our local contributors to this memorial. The Carberry and Area Community Foundation for funding the benches, Dixon Custom Construction for the concrete work, Smart Electric for providing the electrical services, Home Depot for supplying all the flowers and shrubs, Koinonia Nursery for providing the trees, and to our staff for all their hard work that went into making what it is today. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank Grady for all of his work. Without his efforts, I don't know if we would be here today doing this ceremony. The countless calls, texts, emails, the organizing, the arranging, coordinating of this memorial will not go unnoticed. Very much appreciated, Grady. Thank you. Well done. Thank you again for attending today. Your show of support for all those lives who were changed forever on that fateful day is very much appreciated. Please feel free to stay and enjoy the area and some fellowship. I think there might still be some water in some of the coolers. And please drive home safely. Thank you.
So we're here with Mark Golding. What's your position again for Rolling Barrage?
So I'm actually my role with the Rolling Barrage is I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the foundation.
Oh, okay. So what is Rolling Barrage?
The Rolling Barrage is first and foremost, it's a foundation to assist members suffering from PTSD. Members is defined as anyone who has served in the Canadian Armed Forces, a veteran, police, fire, ambulance, first responders, correctional services, and border services.
Oh, okay. So how long have you been doing this, this thing? Is it annually,
Yeah, so this is our 8th year.
Oh, 8th year already,
And this is our 4th year coming to Neepawa.
Oh, okay. So how's your journey? You're coming from where?
So the ride starts over here in St. John's, Newfoundland.
Yeah.
And it finishes in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Oh, okay. And this is your, how many stop from?
I think we're on 11 or 12 first stops.
For Neepawa.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, how was it?
It's awesome.
It's awesome, yeah.
Not only is it just beautiful riding, it's the camaraderie, the fellowship that you receive with the other people that are involved in your ride. It's therapeutic. The benefits of the ride for anyone that takes part in it is more than you can really describe.
Yeah, and every stop, each place, do a fundraising for,
We're extremely
how
blessed
do you
that almost every stop that we go to, we're welcomed by a Legion or a veterans organization. And there's a dinner or a brunch or a breakfast, and there's always some kind of fundraising. So it is fantastic.
Okay. So each stop, you receive a donation from the group or the Legion. Okay. Oh, okay. So how about if they would like to give a donation, even if do you have any for other people or not part of would not be able to come here?
Is if you go to our website at therollingbarrage.com.
Oh,
and right on the
okay.
website, you can make a donation right there. Just click the donate button.
Okay.
But it's also where we have our online auction.
Okay.
And we have an amazing online auction with all the proceeds going to the Rolling Barrage as well.
Oh, okay. So how many members do you have currently?
The Coast to Coast Riders, Warren, how many Coast to Coast do we have? 40 even.
And for this year, how many participated for this
The
year?
participants vary day to day. Because at each location, more people join, more people want to go on, whether it be a short one leg or a couple days. And then we have the riders that do the Coast to Coast.
Oh, okay. Okay, so any final message to our viewers about about what you're doing today? Yeah.
How can I put this? When you break an arm or you break a leg, you have a visible wound. You go to a hospital, you get fixed up, and you walk around with a cast, everyone just accepts that you're injured. When you have PTSD, it's not visible. But it needs to be treated just the same as any other wound. So treatment is very important, therapy is important. What we do with this organization is we encourage that, we make it something that people will talk about, and hopefully that brings more people together.
Okay, so it's also like a form of awareness to about PTSD.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Thank you so much, Mark, for everything that you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Married down the way, made coffee thick and black as sin. Never locked her door, and even strangers walked right in. She'd say, "Child, won't you sit with me a while?" And the warmth in her heart made you feel like you'd been out in the cold. Wasn't for the dark roast, though I did enjoy it well. Blackest beans and last night's dreams would bind us for a spell. She'd say, child, you could not help but smile. And the warmth in her heart made you feel like you'd been out in the cold. Rumors she told fortune brought a laugh and waving hands. No such thing she'd say in spite of all our careful plans. She'd say, child, that's no reason not to try. I went off to college as the birds were flying south. Just like them, my journey took me right past Mary's house. I did not stop, but still today I can't remember why. But I know Mary, no hard feelings twinkle in her eye. Halfway through my second year, my mother's weekly call. Mary Graham, Nee McPherson will be missed by all, my mother read. And we couldn't help but cry. And the warmth in her heart made you feel like you'd been out in the cold. Yeah, the warmth in her heart made you feel like you could live through being old.